So, hi guys, good evening. I don't know if you can see the screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to start, and I'm going to talk about Mansfield Park, the book that I had to read, and I will allow time for questions and comments at the end of this presentation. So, uh, as you see on, sorry, as you can see in this slide, this book is, for me, was very complex because um, we have a lot of characters, and the um, the relation that these characters have are like in conflict, but in other characters are more like in a lovely way. So I'm going to start talking about Fanny Price. Fanny Price is the main character of this story. She is a girl um, who has to live with his uncle and his her uncle and her aunt, um, and we can see a lot of different characters like Edmund Thomas, Uncle Sir Thomas, Aunt Cranford, the Cranford brothers, and Henry Cranford. We're going to talk about of these characters um, more more deeply in the next slide. So this book was very complex. So I found um, a network when you can understand more about Jane Austen, Mansfield Park, and we can see that we have Fanny as the main character. Sir Thomas um, is his uncle, her uncle, and we can see Edmund in the center. So Edmund is a very important part in this book because he is the one who falls in love with Fanny, but Fanny starts to fall in love with him, but she realized that she has to marry with Henry Crawford, that he is um, like one of the main antagonists in this story because Fanny didn't want to marry him, but this story is more like a social status. It's like along with social status, and we have a lot of like different situations going on because of the age, the era that they lived. So in this topic, I'm not going to go too deeply, but I'm going to talk about love, social status, and the moral. We can see the moral as a conservative way, and the moral in what's right or wrong. So uh, I don't know, love for to start. I think that it's what this book is about because we can see that Fanny is trying to fight against her feelings because sometimes it's more about the social status, about money, and she has to decide between married a rich guy that she doesn't love and be with the technically uh, technically Edmund is her cousin. No, is his cousin. So um, we can say that um, in terms of what right or what is right or wrong, it's like totally different in that age. And I was thinking about in love, what would she do if she didn't fall in love of Edmund? And I think that if she didn't fall in love with Edmund, she probably she would marry Henry, because at the end it's like she have to decide between two guys. And like I said before, it's like, well, you prefer money, or you want love in certain points. So um uh, and I think about of that in the book, because um if I had been her in no if I had been in her position, what would I have done? And I think that for me, I consider myself like a person that is really romantic, but I think that sometimes you have to put away like the social things or what people think, because if you love someone, you don't care about anyone else or what the people said. So I think that that is a very important topic in the book. Now we talk about social status, and we can see that um, this book is about money, about how people are wealthy, and um, how the arrangement marriage are like a play a big role in this book, because you can see that in the book, um, his uncle um, wants to convince Fanny that marry Edmund, but we can see that she didn't want that. So um, for me, I think that everyone is going to have a different perception of love in the future, because um, right now we have this diversity of genres and people. So love is a definition that it's already changed, and is changing in a good way, I think. And um, in the moral, with the conservative, we can see this conservative like moral with his uncle, because um, his uncle is like uh, they want to have family values and be conservative in the things that Fanny wants. But we can see the moral of Fanny, that what's right or wrong. We can see that um, if you see it in that terms, maybe it's wrong that I want to marry, no, that I have to marry with someone that I don't love. So we can see these two type of morals, like what is convenient and what is not so convenient in a modern age, or yeah. So um, I think that at the end, um, I wish that everyone could find the love just like she did in the book, because um, when you see how she makes the decision, it's very um, I don't know, it's very like she started to feel free, and she wants to be with Edmund, because um, that is not about how you're going to live all your life with someone you don't love. So she makes the decision that she wants to escape with um, Edmund, and um, eventually she starts to fall in love with him, and she make a her own way out of this mansion, because the mansion is the Mansfield Park. So um, we can see that in this book we have a lot of envy, and we have a lot of like um, like bad relationships between the family, because um, the family always tried to put down um, Fanny, and yeah, eventually she started to understand that that's not the place that she should be. So yeah, and I think that that's the most important part of the book. I think that it's how you overcome the things, and you can get better from that and make your own decisions, not caring about what people says or what's the social status. It's more about what your love wants. So yeah, and thank you. So that's all the time I have for now. So I don't know if you have any questions or comments.
Yeah. Well, now I understand why you say that it's a complicated book to read. I mean, they have like a lot of characters, and I think that definitely was like so complicated to understand what happened. But I don't know why. I had never seen like that series, that Netflix series that is called The Bridgertons or Bridgertons. I think it's something like that. But I think that that series have like the same vibes of this book. I think it's like something like similar. But I don't know, like the main map that you put like in your presentation, I think that's very useful to understand like the the family because it's so complicated only if you talk about it. So yeah, but that's great.
Okay, thank you, Eduardo, for your comments.
Well, I have to say that I enjoyed your explanation. I know that, yeah, the story was really, really complex with a lot of characters, and the relation between them is complicated too. But you explained it well. And I enjoyed that you describe the love that happened in the story with your own perception. That's really interesting. Um, yeah, basically that, and I like that that you made a research. You encounter that image with the network, which is very useful, at least for me. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Christopher and Eduardo, for your opinions. And I want to conclude just by saying thank you for listening. And I hope that um, see you another day and we can have another presentations. Yeah. So that's all for today. See you.